Unec. Welcome to Unec the Size 2025 with Minor Studio. I am your host, Mona Halliday, and today it's all about you, the student, the leader, and the future. In this special occasion, we have one of the presidential candidates who is here to share with us his vision, plans, and values for Unec students. All right, sir, can you please briefly introduce yourself to the Unec students?
Thank you so much, Mona. My name is Pascal Okolo Paxson, 500 level medical student, medicine and surgery to be precise, Faculty of Medical Science. Currently the SUG Director of Games as well. Thank you so much.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. So you are the current SUG Director of Games.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And our first question for you, sir, is this. What inspired you to run for the SUG Unec president?
Just like I tell people that also met me, it is not something I was born with or I started thinking about when I was growing up. I got the inspiration from the heart of Unec students. I'm also among one of the sitting executives currently, so I felt like I have also like done a lot of things that students find it worthy for me to like continue to do more good work for them. So it's the passion came from the heart of the students. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, Mr. Paxson. So you're trying to tell us that your inspiration came from the hearts of the students.
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. So my second question for you is this. Have you ever held a leadership position? Like you said, you are the current SUG Unec DOG. So what are your most prominent achievements?
Okay, first thing first, yes, I have led leadership positions, not just a position, right from my first year, started with faculty level, first year medical student, medicine and dental, when I was the faculty director of games, and then crossing over to Unec, I was director of internal affairs at the community, which was like a general sports community in Unec at the time. Then afterwards, my 300 level, I also became the assistant faculty director of games. Also was a committee for the sports, and then also other words besides sports, I was also in the blood donor society, an active member, and then currently the SUG director of games. So yes, I have been in different leadership positions, and what I have achieved, my portfolio are many, which I think I forwarded some time ago to students, and if you go through, you can see all these things I am about to say. Okay, when I became, because let me just limit it to my current position, or do you want me to go beyond that?
If you can't, sir.
Okay, I think I've done more of initiative work. When I was the faculty director of games in my 100 level, I was the one that, the inaugural crossover league tournament that we started the landscape. Then the then president took the initiative to Unec and, started hosting it in Unec right now, which is still ongoing. And then also the situation of the school team, we also helped to raise the situation a bit standard. You can now see how everything is going. We have fan base, we have media team, which is currently working, and then the JCs and other things, equipment, and we also have trophies, tournaments that we brought home, volleyball, Southeast, varsity games. Then we, besides that, also female sports participation. We made sure that girls are active in sports. How we can see the Unec team, we already formed a formidable Unec female team, Unec Amazon, which we already know we have witnessed some of their matches, and then coming to general departmental level, we can see how girls participated in the sports, even girls playing full pitch, the interdepartmental games, SUG. So we can also see other sports initiative like the judo practice, which we are about to kick off this Saturday. It has been on hold because of exams and the whole, how this year was when the semester started. So we could have kicked off a long time ago. So judging on the security system in the school, so many wanted to like learn these things to help themselves exercise and all that. So we already have group for all these things. Then online gaming platform. Then we also I was also one of the pioneers of the Sports Society, UNN. Yeah, both campuses. So, and then every other things I've done, I think I have them written down somewhere. For anybody can easily text me, then I can say further, just not to waste so much of our time.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So we're going over to the next question, which is your plans for your next students. And I have here one of the questions. It says, what are your plans for your next students, especially for the first 100 days in office? Your first 100 days in office.
Okay, this is a tempting question because my plan for the next students is more of skill acquisition and program learning. Okay, let's just put this way. One thing about institution is when you pass through school, you also allow school to pass through you. Okay, so yes, other learning infrastructures are good. Building these here and there, they are okay. But trust me, when as a student, when you are done, you are going to leave those things behind and go. Then what did you learn? Because let's just accept the honest truth. If you go outside, you see students like striving to like make something out of themselves outside because they don't have what they do. Okay, now the honest truth is that as you're here, there is no job waiting for you out there. You have to fight for it, either by connection or by qualification or anything. And trust me, you have thousands of persons in that your faculty or departments that are canvassing for that particular job. So what other things are you doing to like sustain yourself, in campus? So I have a lot of things to do, but if I can narrow down to your question, you said 100 days in office, I'll have to make sure that about 5,000 or more than that of students get skilled program that they learn and they can work with, so that when they finish, then we're also going to like make sure we pay for these skills so that it will be easy for them, and then we connect them to make sure that they are doing those skills.
5,000 students
or more than that
get acquainted within your first 100 days.
Yes.
So can you tell me
let me add something. Then within beside it, we're also going to give opportunities for students that also want to travel out. For example, work abroad, because I've been discussing with an entrepreneur and a businessman I know in Canada. So, well, it will be a difficult task, but it's possible. So all these things are still opportunities for.
Wow. Yeah. So a lot of students will be, should I use the word Japa very soon? Okay. So I wanted to ask you, you made a statement that within your first 100 days, 5,000 students or more will be acquainted. How do you intend to achieve that?
Okay, I've already started working with a very good friend of mine. I know we started this program even before now, and we started with those that have skills already to connect them to people. So we created a website and a working website. So we have already, I don't know if we can have opportunity if they can come up to give a testimony of what they have seen so far. So to connect them people, and we at the course when we are like discussing, we discovered that a lot of people doesn't have skills yet. Okay, so we are going to like connect them just like I said.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I mean, wow, you've got a lot of plans for your next students. So my next question for you is this: since you were part of the SUG body, how will you rate the outgoing SUG body?
Um, that's also a tempting question. At the same time, I think should instead of rating the SUG body in a whole, I think why not go for individual rating? And the honest truth is that
You want us to go for individual rating?
I said I think it's better off, but let me just let me like say something. When I know that there is this ruckus in campus, the SUG failed this and that and all that, but let's remember that when we contested for this election, everybody had their own, like, you contested synonymously. Okay, like you had people vote for you and all that just because of what you can do or your ability, you understand? So I don't think that trying to judge someone's ability and character in office, you have to like generalize it. I think you should individualize it. Okay, so yeah, that's what I have to say.
So you think we should do an individual rating?
Well, yes, I think the right question is asking me if, based on my rating, like how would I rate myself? Everybody has their own had their own good time and challenges. So I think like it's better off like.
I'm tempted to ask a question.
Okay.
Should I go ahead?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so since you said we should go by individual rating,
Yeah.
what's one thing you think the current SUG president didn't fulfill that you think you could do better?
Okay, yes, it's very simple. The role of the president is difficult and simple at the same time if you understand the task. I would say.
Are you saying the current SUG president didn't understand his task?
No, I didn't say he didn't. Maybe he didn't look clearer.
So he lacks clarity?
No, I wouldn't say that. Okay, I would say maybe like he just like I said, everybody had their own challenges. Maybe something had made him not to have seen what I'm about to say. Okay, so getting back to your question, one thing we have to understand is that the SUG presidency, that is the union, student union government presidency, is nothing compared to a national president or a state president or a state governor. So your power is limited in as much as, yes, you still have control over a lot of many things to like help the students. One, when you come out as an SUG president promising to build castles for students, the honest truth is that we see what happened in Peter Mba administration. We see how within the 100 days he couldn't even get the water that he talked about. This is a state governor that had access to a lot of funds, but it was difficult for him to like achieve that within 100 days. Okay, you see? So that is why when you also look at the people you work for, and then things that can work. There are little things that we can always look out for when we work with students. Okay, so what are these things? Just amenities, water, security, incentives. Okay, let's just say, for example, coming to the hostel, just like I said, we see the issue that always comes up about grasses, not cutting the grasses around the hostels, snakes, and security issues. If you notice recently, towards the end of our administration, you see how many things, how they like brought down a lot of infrastructures, and then yes, even around that hostel, boys hostel, the grasses and all that, and those structures that making all those people that terrorizing students to hide and stuff. So these are the things that's number one. You have to promise the students before even building anything. You have to promise security. You have to promise making sure that water is there. Yes. And then light. And then incentives, in the sense that we are students. We understand that the president, you don't really need, yes, we know that, yes, in as much as maybe you might have access to some funds, but not as. Like sometimes you can come out and give exam benefits. Like for example, exam period, share some refreshment to students. Yes, maybe give all the class reps and be like, okay, share this to the students for the exam. Then maybe sometimes, because Students enter school every day. Maybe sometimes you can wake up in the morning and be like, sponsoring tea fair for the first 100 students entering the campus, or first 50 students entering the campus, or first, second, 2 buses or 3 buses to load. That's the thing. And then being present, making sure that students sees you around, like, okay, because if you noticed in our administration, I don't think I've been present in almost all the SVG activities or student activities. I don't think if there's anyone that have said that Paxson has not been present in any of activities, then he should come out. He or she should come out. So that's presence, being present. So yeah, and then those little things that students, that can actually keep students going. Just like I said, incentives. They're very important.
Wow, thank you so much, Paxson.
Yeah.
You've really been doing very well. All right, so my next question, still Unec plans. How do you intend to work with faculty authorities to reduce unnecessary levies and hidden charges?
Okay, it's one thing about charges when laid upon students is always a difficult thing, because one thing is the one thing we tend to hide, but that is just the honest truth, is that student leaders are still students. Okay, so when you want to fight the administration, like, you have to do it diplomatically. So, but trust me, they will still always listen if you go the right way. Then it's very simple. Let's track back to the levy that has been imposed upon Medical College of Medicine.
Thank you for bringing that up.
And then some of I think the one happening in Faculty of Business Administration. Okay, so these things are easy. Generally, like, if I should give my take, most campuses or most schools pay governmental levy. That's if you should tell ourselves the honest truth. But the manner of approach, one, that the administration came with was not good. In the sense that before you impose a levy on the students, you have to organize something called Student Congress. Student Congress, in the sense that the student leaders will be there, then with some students that can also like testify, and then with faculties and then other administrative bodies, then we'll discuss it. And then when the whole students and administration discuss it, then they now go back, tell them to go back and then come up with something, because they're going to come with their plan. Yes, it's true that leading, trying to like harbor hundreds of thousands of students are difficult based on the situation of the country. All of us know. Yes, but manner of approach is very important. If I should say, the manner of approach they came with this last time was not good. So, which also led to, because number one is that they started like imposing it on people that they won't write the exam because of it, or they won't do this or won't do that. So, and the student leaders are not already in support of it. That's why you see fighting going on here and there. We don't want this, we want this, we don't want this. So if left for me, we would try to suspend every not allowing students to do anything. Okay, suspend every payment before the necessary route is being taken, which is starting with Student Congress. And when they start with the Student Congress, they're going to give us their plan. Then we go back, have our own meeting. The SUG, the faculty, the departmental presidents, go back and have our own meeting. We now know, yes, are we going to do this or not? If we are going to do this, what is amount we are looking at that is going to be suitable for the students? One. Then two, if it's going to be one-time payment or annual payment, because we are going to do our analysis on our own. If you are paying this thing annually, is it SS or is it supposed to be the way it's so? But yeah, I think that's how I'm going to follow it up.
Okay, I have one last question for you before we go on a break.
Okay.
So it says, what's your plan for improving hostel living conditions on tackling water and light issues on campus?
Okay, I wouldn't come like the last administration and say that I'm going to give water within the first 100 days. Just like I said, you don't.
Are you shading the last administration?
I am not. I believe the president, before he made that statement, maybe he had his own plans. And then, when he said, man proposes, God disposes, that kind of a thing. So, when security, I think the security issues have reduced recently, unlike before. Then these things are very simple. If you notice the stories of the securities, like insecurity that has been ongoing, people that are perpetrating these crimes are not even like, they are not trained robbers.
You mean insecurity in the hostels? Right?
Yes, insecurity in the hostels, yes, in school as a whole. So what always give them the room to do these things are all these grown bushes and all these hidden infrastructures and all these like hidden places and bushes and stuff. Most especially bushes, because if you see where these crimes are committed, is around where bushes are. So which we normally see that the deputy vice chancellor sometimes sends his workers to go and cut them and all that. So the thing is that we make sure that these grasses don't grow. There are processes that we make sure that grasses don't grow. You have to, when you cut them and then you kill them, because they're not important. So we find a way, so like a sustainable way of making sure that these grasses don't outgrow all the time. And when they even try to grow a little, we make sure we cut them. That's one. Then two, during our last administration, we have fought for bringing external securities to the school. So, but we were also made to know that the last time it happened, that the securities they brought in had issues with the students. I think that they had occasion where a student was shot or something. I don't know. Yes. So, employing armed securities to the school. So, but for me, I would say that even employing armed this thing is not bad, because if you go to UNM, you can even see that they still have some armed securities there. But the only thing is that we can always always call them up when there are major issues, and then make sure that the securities we have are working. Most of the securities we have in Unec are old men. We talked to the administration about changing them, but they were like, they don't have something to eat, they don't do this, they don't have this, they don't have that. So, but I don't think I'm going to entertain it in my own time. So we will have, even if we have to have older people there, then it has to be let's say 20% of older men and 80% of vibrant. So I will push for employing able security personnel. So with this, they can be active, not like in security posts you see a security person sleeping, you see a security person sleeping and all that too. So, and then apart from water and security, is there anything you also mentioned? Okay, I haven't talked about water, sorry. So about the water, when I was walking around the hostel recently, so I was like, rainy seasons, I don't think that students are supposed to be buying water during rainy season. How? It's very achievable. We can actually get the school administration to get like 2 tanks or 3, let's say 2 to start with, for each hostel. Then find a way to like channel a pipe, clean pipe, construct a clean pipe to those tanks, and then when rain falls, then it can drop in to those tanks and also help for cooking and some of the things. So when we get back to like dry season, then we can go back to like buying water. Then we also keep pressing, because the governor agreed to at the last time he agreed to like direct water to the school. But the issue now is, see the challenge, because I don't know if the president have addressed it. The challenge was that the route to channel the water is going to cause a lot of infrastructural damage. Okay, so bringing it is going to cause a lot of infrastructural damage. So this kind of thing is a project that will take place when the students are not in campus, and it's going to last for a long period of time for the construction to complete. So, and I don't know, I'm not so sure, but I think it might affect some buildings or some things. Well, we'll still keep pushing for that. Let's see how it goes. So, but let's see if the situation of water in Enugu is becoming a bit impressive. So bringing it to Unec is not bad.
So, Mr. Paxson, are you promising us that when you get into as the ex-UG president,
Yeah.
that we will have waters in our hostels?
Yes, we are going to have.
I hope you are aware that currently all the hostels in Unec have a free tank, just that there are no access to waters. Are you aware?
No, I'm not aware of the free tanks.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, sir. We'll be going on a little break and we'll be back shortly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you been looking for an affordable, intimate space to host your birthday shoots, your wedding shoots, naming ceremonies, your after induction parties, mini hangouts, tech conferences, the hangouts with the girls and guys? Miners Intimate Space has got you. And the beautiful thing about this place is it comes with media assistant, lights, a DJ, mini decorations and seats, and the whole space for just you. So call it proposals. We have a customized Will You Marry Me sign here. Your girl doesn't like public proposals, so why do you keep taking her to Ntachi when you can just come here and get a special proposal for you and your woman? Call any of the numbers showing on your screen right now to book a slot at Minor Studio.
And we are back from that quick break. Welcome back to Unec the Size 2025 with Minor Studio. And I'm still your host, Mona Halliday. And with me is still Paxson, one of the presidential candidates for the XUG Unec 2025. And we've listened so far, he's been dropping some insights, plans, and promises. But before we dive deeper to that, let's twist things a little up. So we're about to play a little mind game, Mr. Paxson. And it's called This and That. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Are you sure?
How scary could that be?
I don't know. You look a bit tensed up though. So, this or that. Question number 1. This or that. Between Open Sheraton and Zidis, which will you go for?
For what context, please?
In the context of where would you prefer to have your lunch?
Okay, based on preference, I would prefer where it's cheaper, but I've tried both, and I noticed that recently that I think Open Sheraton is cheaper. So
Cheaper? So you can, if they're selling 1 spoon of rice for 300 naira, you go for it.
yes.
Won't you be scared? I mean, in this recession.
Okay, you mean 1 spoon of rice if it's cheaper than that of Zidis?
Yes.
Let's say 1 spoon of rice in Sheraton is 300 and Zidis is 500.
Yes.
Well, since you just gave me a limited option, then I'll go for the cheaper one.
Okay, that's fine. So your second question. Between Chapel of Redemption and Saint Mulumba, which will you pick as your preference place of worship?
Well, I'm a Catholic now, so
I see
Semorumba
that.
is, for Catholics.
All right. So my last question, sir. If you were to pick a wife now, between an Ibiam girl and a Manuai girl, which will it be?
Well, if I'm to pick a wife, I think that question is huge, and well, I'm not picking a wife yet, but I'm under compulsion to answer that question.
Not really, sir.
Then when it's time to pick a wife, then we talk about it.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So we'll be going back to our questions. So now to my next question. How do you plan to ensure open communication and regular updates between the SUG and the student body?
Okay, how do I plan between the SUG and student body? Okay, when I was being the SUG director of games, I created a platform for all the directors, games directors, and we communicate WhatsApp group, and then even down to the class director and games directors. So a WhatsApp platform is okay. I always come around to ask them. You can, verify. I always come around every 2 weeks, sometimes months, to ask them what are the challenges they are having, and I make sure that everything I'm doing, I'm carrying them along, post it there. And some of them, if they want to book pitches or stuff, they come there to ask me questions, and I answer them. I'm always there for them, down to the grassroots, down to the class, SUG2 class. So I don't think it will be different if I become the president. I'm going to have all the faculty, departmental, and class reps on one platform, and I'm making sure regularly that we talk. They'll tell me the challenges they're having with students, class level, departmental level, faculty level. And I think also we are going to be having, just like as a normal state in the constitution, we have student congress to discuss how far we've gone. Let's say every 2 months or 3 months, depending, going to discuss progress, setback. I think this is one of the things why, because that's why you see, even working system, you always see the president, they come around to address. So just like I was discussing with you the other time, if minus is functional, I can come time with time. If you guys don't bill me too much, I can come time with time, we do something like this, and then we'll discuss the challenges. When you don't carry the student along, when you don't tell them at every step the challenges you're having, and then what you're about to do or what you're supposed to do you've not done, these are the reasons why, then if you keep quiet, students won't know what you are going through as a leader. They don't know the challenges that you are facing. Okay, so just like I said, the administration, I don't know if I said before, there have been challenges between the union government and the administration. So I'm just hoping one day maybe the president can still come out and address the students on it. So these are the things you say at intervals, so the students will know that, okay, these are your challenges. These are what you are doing for us. Yes, these are what we want you to do. These are what. Okay, so just always keeping in check with the students.
All right, thank you. So to my next question, how will you handle a situation whereby your administration clashes with the school management?
Okay.
Do you need me to explain further?
Yes, you can, because there are different kind of clash.
Okay, for example, in this levy aspect, I think you mentioned about the current ongoing developmental fee.
Okay.
So if you were to be in the shoes of the current SUG Unec president, what will you do? As to your administration, it's kind of clashing with the school management.
The way the school administration is situated now, I wouldn't even think that they will want anything protest. Okay, because our sitting president, if you see the way he's changing VCs and all that, you see that he doesn't even want issues with any of this institution, because he already promised that he's going to make sure that students get what they want and every time. So our sitting president in a way prioritizes students' welfare. That's why you even see the loan stuff going on, people that have applied getting their money and all that. So now, one thing we should know first is that the administration, they are scared of protest. They don't even want things to get to that. So we're going to try every diplomatic way enough to make them understand our fight. So, everybody has who they answer to. Okay? So when you talk to the dean, he doesn't listen. Then you go to the vice chancellor. If he doesn't listen, you go to the pro chancellor. Then if he doesn't listen, you go to the chancellor. So I don't think that this ladder of leadership will reach to its point and no one listens. Okay, so we keep looking for every diplomatic way, because I know some students will be clamoring for let's protest. Trust me, it's not going to favor both the students and the administration. Whenever there is a protest, the government shuts down the school for at least 6 months. 6 months is like a section or close to a section. Whenever there is a protest, the student loses their 1 year. And that's at least, not like it's going to be 6 months, at least 6 months. So yes, it's true that the administration might they would trust me. The only thing that they will do is to remove them from office, and then what happens to the students? We lose 1 year, and then we'll now come back to pay for damages at the same time, because if he is going to impose protest fee, is going to be imposed after protest. So we are going to look for every diplomatic way possible, going from office to office to make sure that our cry is being answered.
Wow, Mr. Paxson, I must say I'm really, really impressed by your answers to our questions. So, sir, we have 3 more questions to go. So, to my question, there's a perception that SUG leaders, in quotes, chop money and vanish. How can you next students trust that you will be different?
Okay. Yes, the mindset has always been there. I won't even blame anybody thinking that, because even, let's say, when I was in 100 level, when my mindset cleared, was not like I was so much thinking that SUG chop money. I felt like they are big people. They are close to politicians. They have access.
Is that why you went in as the SUG DOG?
No. I even, just like I said, I started being a leader in my 100 level as the faculty director of games, FIMSA. So, then I was given a project to handle. That's the FIMSA games and crossover, this thing. So I knew how it was. I knew how difficult it was for me. The funding, in as much as the honest truth is that I'm a human being. I saw the money came in, I was like, wow, okay, now let me use this one and organize. And trust me, if you want to work and see that, yes, people will see that you worked. Even if before you even have gain in anything, that means the money must have come surplus. Okay, if you want to work, gain is always hard. So after the project, that was when I realized that being in a leadership position, like chopping money, as in quotes, as you said, is not as people always think. Okay, so I'm not saying there's never been occasion where leaders go there and embezzle. Yeah. So, but you always, that's why it's good before you pick a leader, you can also try to know positions he has led. One, the projects he has handled. These are not like projects he used his personal money to handle. Projects that students have in trust fund on him to handle. I have a lot of them. Starting from States League, Freshers League, even 100 level, Alionzi, all of them have been very accountable. If you go to the house now, there is nothing like taxing embezzled fund. If you go to the SUG treasure, what you really see there is my salary and my budget. Finish. You will not see any other, apart from the event we went for, volleyball, Southeast, which is normal incentive they are giving to footballers that went there for your lodging. And apart from that, I go and verify. You cannot see any other money coming from the school to my account. Okay, so there is nothing like embezzlement of fund for me. You can ask any house representative. So I've not been called to the house to explain anything about embezzlement. So yes, even coming to my faculty level, people have helped handle their funds. Like some students writing exams, they will ask you, they will tell you how transparent I was with their money. So yes, I can handle public funds very well, and I cannot embezzle.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. So my next question is this: do you think your performance as the current SUG Unec DOG proves you are ready to run as a
Yes.
Unec SUG president, or are you reinventing yourself with a new vision entirely?
Okay, just like I said, it's only God that makes a man worthy, and it's only the people that says that you are, supposed to be where you are, or supposed to be somewhere. Okay, so on a personal note, all I can say is, if I can check myself on the things I have done, for the students. With the little power I've been given since my honor level till now, I would say yes, I can do it. I said this before on one of my flyer, and I keep saying it. I will still say it now. They never gave birth to me, and I said I was going to be a president, SUG president. In fact, even before I became the SUG director of games, I never thought of going for the post of the SUG president. I don't hide my mouth saying it. People always ask me, why didn't you tell me first? Just like I said, you keep working on yourself. Okay? Allow people to understand your true self before going for anything. I can actually come out in my 100 level and tell you that, or 200. Or even when I was the SUG DOG, most people didn't even know I was coming for the SUG DOG. I like when people judge me based on my true character. So if anyone comes to my face and tell me, Paxson, you doesn't deserve this post, I'll ask the person why. Because when you are the DOG, you had emotional issues. You did this, you did that. I will understand, because in my true self, I never told any single soul I was going for SUG president. Some people were even pressuring me to go. I was like, I'm working on myself. If I'm deemed worthy, if people say yes. And it happened that when I started telling people about my intention, they said, what have I been waiting for? That was the question they asked me. I told them I was working on myself. Said, you could have said this thing a long time ago. You made the position. I don't want to call names of people that said a lot of people in my DMs and all that. So that's why answering your question, people that will tick the box that yes, you want it. So the dream came, just like I said, it came from the heart of the students. I never buried it in my heart a long time. And whatever character you've seen that Paxson has been displaying has been his true self. If I've ever shouted at you any day, that's me. If I've ever stepped on your toes, that's my true character, and I know that I must have apologized. So I never did it because I was going for SUG president. I did it because it's me, it's Paxson. And if you want to root for me, I want you to root for me because of myself. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Paxson. Okay, to my last question. It says, if you are not coming out for the SUG president, who will you recommend to the Unec students?
Well, this question, who would I recommend? I don't think I'm even in a position to recommend anyone yet, because the honest truth is, right now, I'm improvised because I'm a candidate, and even if, let's say, eventually something happens, which by the grace of God, I'm not praying for that, to recommend anyone thereafter, it's not a personal decision. It has to come from people that share the same views as I am, people that also understands like this person is going to go for something, because as it stands now, we are 10 people going for it, and we have different supporters and different friends, and so it's something that when majority of persons come and say this person is okay, then I think.
Okay, Mr. Paxson, any last words for the Unec community?
Okay, first thing first, this for you Unec students, great lion and lionesses. I want to appreciate each and every one of you for holding on. It's not easy. Challenges in the campus, exams, developmental levies and that. So, but yet here you are, striving for better days. So we are all going to succeed at the end. So I urge each and every one of us to make sure to do capturing biometrics, to come out en masse, to select a leader. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Mr. Paxson, and thank you to the Unec students, and we will see you once again in our next episode of Unec Decides 2025 with Minor Studios. Please do into sending your questions. Follow all our social media handles as we keep you updated. Thank you.